In this video, I'll show you how I design and prototype this login screen sequence in Adobe XD. To start this project, I used an iPhone 11 Pro artboard. The idea behind this app is to create a virtual experience to visit San Francisco. So for the welcome screen, I wanted to start out with a large photo of the Golden Gate Bridge. To do this, I copy and pasted the photo onto my Adobe XD file and then used a rectangular shape to mask it with the keyboard shortcut Command-Shift-M. Since I wanted the main part of the bridge to be in the center of the artboard, I changed the background to a gray so that it would look like the image faded into the background. Another way to do this is to do it in Adobe Photoshop directly, but I just wanted to save a little time and do it directly in Adobe XD. For the first interaction, I knew I wanted the bridge to move down, so I copied the artboard and repositioned the photo within the frame. Next, I want some text to appear on the screen. So again, I duplicated the artboard and then use the text tool to add text on that one. Here I am using white text in Helvetica Bold. I played around with the sizing and positioning until it filled the frame to my liking. And because I want the welcome screen to cycle through another message, I duplicated the artboard again and changed the messaging. Notice that I'm also renaming my artboards as I go, just to make it easier when it comes to prototype mode. For the last part of the welcome sequence, I duplicated the artboard once again because I want a clear call to action to appear. I used the rectangle tool to draw a button for the CTA. I tried out a few different iterations for the button, at first starting with a solid white background, then changing to a rounded white border. But after adding the text inside the button, there just didn't seem to be enough contrast, so then I tried adding a different color for the border of the button. But this still didn't seem like enough contrast, so then I decided to just change the background of the button altogether to this bright orangey red pulled from the Golden Gate photo, and change the Get Started text to white. Next is to design the screen that follows when someone presses the Get Started button. At first I wanted the background of this screen to be a color, but then I ended up going with a white background and using the orange-red as a highlight color for the text and the button. For the name, email, and password fields, I used the inverse of the button. So instead of a solid color for the background, just left it white and used the color as a border. Once I designed the field for the name, I used the same design properties for email and password by copying and pasting below. For the final call to action, I decided to leave the button in the same place as this previous screen. I also wanted to design the interaction for when someone would enter their name, email, and password. So I duplicated the login artboard and then added dummy text and the circles for the privacy of the password. And for the final screen in this whole welcome login series, what happens when someone presses the Let's Go button? Now, of course, I could go on and design the whole app experience, but for the purposes of this project, I just wanted to design a loading screen. A pretty simple design. I wanted to have a full flood of that orange-red color as a background, and then I downloaded an icon from thenounproject.com of a plane circling around the world. Now that the full welcome and login series is designed, it's time to switch to prototype mode. To begin the prototype, I connected artboard 1 and 2 by clicking and dragging on the arrow. For the trigger, I want to use time because I want the Golden Gate Bridge to go from the middle of the artboard down to the bottom, automatically without any interaction from the user. For the type of animation, I choose auto-animate. Next, I want the text to appear, so I connected artboard 2 to artboard 3 and used the same trigger and animation type. I repeated the same action for the next two artboards. I want a user to be able to click on the button and then swipes into the next screen. So I connect that interaction of the button to the next artboard and use the tap trigger and the slide left transition. To simulate the interaction of someone entering in their name, email, and password, I selected the name form to connect to the next artboard using the tap trigger and the dissolve animation. For the final interaction, I connected the Let's Go call to action button to the final artboard and used the same tap trigger and dissolve transition. And this is how the final prototype turned out. Let me know what you thought of this tutorial by leaving a comment below. Did you learn something new or think about a different way to design your welcome and login series? Or do you have questions and suggestions for future videos? Let me know below in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.